Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We are focusing in and zooming in on how to handle the narcissist, the psychopath, the taker, the individual who takes advantage of others, who sees others' good nature and tends to exploit them, take more than their fair share without giving in return. How to really confront them or deal with them in a diplomatic manner that protects yourself at the same time. And this is really, I think, that comes up in many phases of the relationship with a narcissist or a psychopathic individual. When they see the ongoing abuse, when they see the emotional abuse, when they see the taking advantage of others emotionally, financially, materially, or sexually, and they tend to then victimize others on down the line. And they want to do something to stop it, this opportunistic individual who is playing a charade, who's playing a game, basically, and just taking from others, and others are willing victims, willingly complying, willingly cooperating, falling to their manipulation. And oftentimes it's very sad to see when others are falling prey to this manipulation. And they're not awakened to it. They're not seeing really what's going on. They don't realize that they are being taken advantage of. And how do you cope with this? How do you deal with this? Well, I think it's very important for you to understand that if you have struggled with making this your responsibility, realize the wear and tear that it might be making on you psychologically. If you constantly feel the need to settle the score or justify things or make things right or be the peacemaker or be the educator, be the one to assign values to individuals or getting yourself stuck in the middle of trying to right the wrong or striving for justice, things that are noble and very valuable and very important, realize that oftentimes your wishes are going to fall on deaf ears. They're going to fall into a closed heart. They are going to be received or not well received by individuals because they just don't want to hear it. They won't have anything to do with it. They don't really want to care because they want to get away with what they are setting up for themselves, and they don't want to do without. And really oftentimes the narcissist or the psychopath, it is generally just like an alcoholic as well. It is what they can get away with. They will push the line. They will cross the line. They can be very high risk takers. And especially in the psychopathic, because of their inherently low dopamine level, they have a high propensity to be thrill seekers, to be risk takers, to take advantage of others. So, and this can be really in many different walks of life. So it is very saddening to see this. And oftentimes it's more important just to validate the person who is really the good individual, the one who is the very generous, the one who is very benevolent, the one who is very prolific, the one who is in abundance, the one who has the affluence, the one who has really the positive energy with which this person oftentimes is living on. They can be very, very prolific in their lives, and sometimes people tend to take advantage of people's good nature if they have an abundance of goodwill. Very fortunate individuals in life. Those people who are very prosperous, who have worked hard. Oftentimes, narcissists will take advantage of these people, and it can oftentimes be to their detriment. I've seen very many people who have actually lost their lives to the victimization of others. They have been so targeted by individuals who have taken advantage of them that they've lost their own life. Basically, they have committed suicide because they've been so taken advantage of to the point where they've been drained financially of millions, had to move their homes, had to sell their vehicles, have had to sell their jewelry that have been in their family for generations because this individual had overstrapped their bank account, and now they have had to basically liquidate their entire livelihood because of a psychopathic opportunist, someone who takes advantage of others, and maybe takes care of their extended family because they need it. And it's very, very sad. And yes, I've seen it to the point where someone has literally, I've seen a number of people where this has occurred. And so it can become, oftentimes, people can become so self-sabotaged or feel so weak and helpless and vulnerable that they feel that there's no other way out. And that is not the case. It's definitely time and okay to intervene when you see this taking place. It can take place, it can start out small and it can grow larger. It is okay to intervene. It is okay to advocate to the one who is with who's being taken advantage of. And I say advocate, meaning validate them. Be clear with them that they are possessive of these great qualities, these great interests, things that make them unique and special, and that you really hope that this individual is reciprocating. Don't just ignore it. I think it's very important to not get involved to the point where you are getting yourself basically assigned the role of having to become in a battle and try to settle the score, or settle the playing ground for everybody and be kind of the mediator, because oftentimes you can then there's a tug of war, and then you have to take sides, and then you're becoming responsible for things that really you don't need to get involved in. It's not in your best interest. So if you feel a responsibility to protect others, then oftentimes your desires, your motives are going to be best served by validating the person who you feel is being taken advantage of, and validate their great traits. And it's okay to speak your fears. Oftentimes that's the best way to handle it, is to speak your fears and say, I hope that you're not being taken advantage of here, or I hope this person reciprocates, or how are you doing with this and this and this? And I just want you to know that I'm here if you need anything. And express your feelings. It just makes me saddened to feel that you might be taken advantage of here. So it's okay to express your feelings, but don't feel like you have to make it your too much of your mission, where it becomes too important to you, or becomes a struggle or a sense of really compulsion where you're going through it over and over in your mind and you find yourself repeatedly in this position. Then it's time to draw the line for yourself and then say, okay, this is not important for me. I don't, this person's evolution, or this person's protection is not my responsibility. It is not my place, and I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with letting them handle the consequences for however things transpire. So it really is important to be able to make your feelings known and declare it, but more so validate on the side of the positive, versus trying to bash or react to or condemn the negative, because then you're getting caught up in the toxicity and the negativity, and you're really getting into you're increasing struggle in your life rather than releasing it. And the whole goal of recovery is learning day by day to release that struggle, release that judgment, release that fear, anxiety, guilt, and obligation that is plaguing you and separating you from your true happiness. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share. Please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.